Greetings, Earthlings, wisdom keepers, wisdom seekers. Welcome back to Wizdom Dropz. You also ask for daily drops of wisdom and savvy cat astrology. My name is Tanya, and today we are discussing the eclipse, the full moon eclipse that is upcoming on May 26th in the sign of Sagittarius. This is a full moon eclipse, and it has some mega heavy hitters, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned because we're going to talk about it. So you'll have an idea about what events exactly, what type of experiences are likely going to happen to you karmically and fatedly over the next 6 months, and also energies that you can engage with for the most success over the next 6 months. Okay? Cool. So I'm super excited to jump into it. Also, if you're into this, there's a free masterclass happening this coming Sunday, a few days before the eclipse. The link to register is down below in the description box at the very top of the description box. Okay, it's totally free, and we're going to be focusing on understanding the key 3 in astrology, specifically in your personal birth chart. That's right, you heard it right. It's a free masterclass this coming Sunday, RSVP required using the link in the description box. And the key 3 being the ascendant, the sun, and the moon. Everybody's always like, you need to read more than your sun sign. You're more than your moon sign. But what does that really mean when they say you need to read together the ascendant, the sun, and the moon? I'm so excited to be offering this. It's going to be live, very interactive. I'm going to give you the formula for understanding and interpreting these 3 key natal chart placements, and we're going to go through your personal charts together as a little astro community. So I'm super pumped for that experience. Again, I need you to RSVP if you want to be there, because otherwise you don't have the Zoom link, because this is a private event for only groovy people. So, you know, that is what it is. Cool. Also, I will say I thank everybody who resonates with my content for subscribing, liking, commenting, and otherwise supporting this channel. It has been super inspiring to see the continued growth, and let it continue. So thanks to everybody for all of that. Also, last but not least, if you know for a fact that you are ready to astrologically lift yourself into the realm of the knowing ones, the chosen ones, the astrologers of the world, right? If you want to be able to interpret your chart and everybody's chart who you know in your life, Wizdom Dropz Astrology School is registering right now. Serious students only. If you want to enroll, the link is down below, baby. We're going to schedule a call together over the Zoom. If the vibe is right, we'll get you registered right then and there. And so you know where to go. Okay, description box down below, baby. Awesome. All right, let's share our screen and jump on into it. Okay, cool. So you should be seeing the lunation event, the eclipse, boom, 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 in Sagittarius. Now, this is happening in Sag, the sign of the traveler, the Roma or gypsy, you might be more familiar with that word, and the professor, okay? So this is a knowledge keeper, a wisdom keeper, axis between Gemini and Sagittarius. Gemini is the how-to, okay? The skill, the minuscule detail, the minutia, the craft, the ability, the knowledge set that requires you to get something accomplished. On the flip side, Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the faith behind, it's the motivation of spiritual belief, and it's the spirit that allows anything over here in Gemini to transpire in the first place. You need spirit and faith and belief and the force, so to speak, Sagittarius, in order to get anything done with Gemini. So that's a little like setting the scene between the axis that we're discussing. Now you'll notice that there is this triangle in this chart, and that's going to be the main focus of my conversation today. Eclipses imprint karmic experiences on us, let me just say this, for 6 months after their effect. So this video is not going to differentiate a lunar eclipse from a solar eclipse. We're not going into that today. What we're going into today is this eclipse right here, right now, these are the planets involved, and this is what they're saying for the next 6 months. Okay, we'll get into all the details later, Gemini people, don't you worry. Okay, but Virgo people, okay, but for now, I want to focus on this T-square. And some astrologers will be like, that's not a T-square, because there's 7 degrees orb of difference between the moon and Jupiter. But I definitely acknowledge this as a T-square. So everybody, a T-square is when you see this big red triangle, you see the tip of that triangle right here with Jupiter, the little aqua looking 4, okay? And then you see the opposite, the bottom of that triangle being formed between the moon and the sun. So with that said, what we're looking at is, yes, a tense energy in one regard, but the thing about it is that this is so graceful. And until you understand your astrology, you won't understand why a T-square could be graceful. But I'm gonna explain it to you now. Don't you worry, don't you worry. Also, this is stuff we'll talk more about in the masterclass, the free masterclass happening this Sunday. If you didn't hear the beginning, the link is at the top of the description box down below. But the planet that rules the sign in question, in this case, the moon is in Sagittarius, correct? Correct. Sagittarius is ruled by what planet? Pop quiz, kids. Jupiter. Now, Jupiter, again, is at the apex, the top, right, of this T-square. Therefore, Jupiter is the focus point. Jupiter is the planet that will carry us forward for the next 6 months. Jupiter is where we all need to be focusing. So Jupiter is the planet that will guide us forward over the next 6 months. Everybody pay attention. And Jupiter is in Pisces. Now, if you know your astrology transits, if you're aware, Jupiter has just entered Pisces, as you can see here on the screen. It's currently transiting 1 degree of Pisces at this eclipse event, this powerful eclipse portal, right? So Jupiter is therefore taking a significant role. However, big emphasis, Jupiter is about to retrograde, baby, and that means it looks like it's going backwards. It's backpedaling through the heavens pretty soon. So Jupiter is not going to stay in Pisces, but we are so blessed, all of that to say, we are so blessed to have Jupiter in its own sign of Pisces at the time of this eclipse. This is not a joke, everybody. This is an actual blessing, because Jupiter is, again, number one, the ruling planet of Sagittarius, where the moon itself is in this conversation of eclipse energy. That's important, okay? Also, number two, Jupiter is the planet of abundance, everybody, and belief and spiritual health, spiritual wealth, you understand? Jupiter is also the planet of wisdom, along with Saturn. Jupiter is the belief that allows wisdom to have a place to set. You know what I'm saying? Because if you have wisdom that is Saturnine alone, you have a sourpuss attitude. I'm sorry, not sorry. I'm telling you the truth right now. I got a lot of Saturn and Jupiter in my chart, you understand? So I know these different energies. With that said, Jupiter is the planet that allows Saturnine wisdom to have grace. Jupiter is the planet that allows Saturnine wisdom to have benefit. Jupiter is the planet that allows happiness and joy and faith to be grounded with all that Saturnine wisdom. So anybody who wants to know why Jupiter is the WizdomDropz planet on my YouTube channel, this is why. Because I love Jupiter. Everybody who knows of Jupiter and knows Jupiter, you know what I'm saying, loves Jupiter. And we are fortunate enough to have Jupiter in its own sign. Jupiter rules both, okay, Sagittarius and Pisces. And under this eclipse event, everybody, it's in its own sign. And not only that, its modern ruler, Neptune, is also in its own sign. And you might be looking at this like, Tanya, Neptune's at 22 degrees of Pisces, Jupiter's at 1 degree of Pisces. How are you going to even call that a conjunction? Well, kiddos, whole sign conjunction is a thing, and it is in fact influencing this eclipse. So again, we are blessed to have Pisces at the apex of a T-square, okay, with all this good zhuzh and supportive energy beneath it. Anytime a planet is in its own sign, its health, its dignity, its ability to give us what we know it could give us is present. You will be feeling abundant. You will be feeling spiritually abundant. You will be feeling like you have what you need to succeed, and you will have a connection with your guides over the course of the next 6 months. If you set your receiving channels, so please set your receiving channels to receive the good that is coming for the next 6 months. And the more of us who set this intention, the higher the vibration manifests. Now I'm going to backpedal. I'm going to go retrograde on y'all. Insider's joke. And I'm going to say that the T-square configuration that you see on your screen, this red triangle with Jupiter at the apex, you need to focus on the love and the faith and the abundant factor of the spiritual wealth, the spiritual health. You need to invest in spiritual things over the next 6 months. You need to invest in spiritual health and wealth, things that feel of a clear vibration to you, things that feel of a spiritual vibration to you. Now is the time to dedicate yourself with your faith, with your belief, with your center, with your spiritual center into that, ground into that for the next 6 months, and the universe is going to reward you. It's going to reflect back at you however much you align with that force. And I feel it as I'm talking. I'm sure you feel it radiating off of this. So with that said, that's the way out of any tension that arises, of any karmic, whatever that comes up. And whatever will come up, I think is going to be good, because look at the other aspect off of Jupiter, kiddos. Mercury is over here trining from, okay, air sign, Gemini. Isn't that gorgeous? And this is gorgeous for a variety of reasons. This is one of the last major aspects I'm going to talk about, but it's very significant. When I say major, I really mean major, because Mercury is the ruling planet of Gemini, okay, everybody? And Gemini, as you can clearly see on the screen, is where the sun is going to be at the time of the lunation. Because anytime you have a full moon, the moon is exactly opposite the sun. So Gemini is a power player, and it's more importantly, or just as importantly, it's where the North Node is. You see that little horseshoe looking thing? It's where the North Node is transiting at this point, okay? Now, this is what makes it an eclipse, right? The fact that there's a new moon or a full moon on the eclipse axis. But the reason that this is important is because Mercury is in domicile. It's in its own sign. Mercury is therefore going to help the North Node. Mercury is supporting that North Node. Why is this significant, Tanya? You're sitting there asking yourself. Let me tell you, friend, it's significant because the North Node rules our karmic fated destiny at any given point in time. Okay. And this is important because Mercury is healthy, just as Jupiter is healthy, just as Saturn currently transiting its own sign of Aquarius. Yes, Saturn is ruled, or Aquarius is ruled by Saturn in ancient astrology. Okay. So therefore, Saturn is also healthy. And Saturn is also, mind you, engaged in this aspect, engaged in this conversation. So these planets are healthy. They're in good dignity. They want to give you what they need to give you. And Mercury with that North Node in the same sign, co-present, is going to bring you a mental awareness. And it's a great time to bring you skills. Do not forget that this is a time to invest in skills, everybody, to invest in craft, the ability to do something. Hey, this is literally selfish self-promotion aside, this is literally, objectively speaking, a very good time to enroll yourself in a 6-month-long astrology school. Hello, link to register down below, because the faith and the spirituality and the spiritual practice component, Jupiter at the apex of that T-square, is going to make everything easier as it unfolds over the next 6 months if you're engaging in that type of study. And not only that, but with Mercury there, with the North Node, you're supposed to, North Node, invest in skills, okay? Mercury in the sign of skill and craftsmanship, Gemini. Do you understand? Also with Venus there, you're meant to invest in, because the money, Venus is the money, with Mercury the skill, okay? Over the next 6 months, you can't make this shit up, kids. Ask any good astrologer and they're gonna agree with me with this statement, that Mercury and Venus conjunct the North Node like this is definitely telling you it's time to put your money, Venus, where your pleasure, Venus, is, as well as your skill is, and your acquisition of skill, because Mercury is, again, the planet of skill. I have given you so much information and wisdom for free. I really hope this is a good cycle. Like this video if it brought you any value, because it helps other people get this information. Other people find our platform. Other people engage in this awakening that we are a part of here at the Wizdom Dropz community. I'm looking forward to the masterclass. You need to RSVP if you want to be there. Okay. This coming Sunday, it's happening live, baby, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Central. It's going to be amazing. So looking forward to seeing you there. If you know you need to get yourself in astrology school, it is a small, intimate, live, interactive crew. We meet every Sunday, 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Central. I give you a presentation you hold on to. I give you all the astrological wisdom you need. And then I ask you to put it into play. I ask you to prove it to me that you understand what I'm speaking to you. And then from there, I give you a fun little treasure hunt that you follow up throughout the week to hone those skills and grow those abilities and grow that understanding that can only happen personally inside yourself, inside of you. So I am honored for those who choose to take me on as their astrological coach. The link to register today is in the description box. I will get you on a Zoom call. We will talk through a little bit more of the program details. And if the vibe is right, you'll enroll, baby. All right, with that said, through next time, until next time, thank you, and may the stars be with you. Peace.